Hey guys, Ashby with Ashby Farms, just coming to you with an update this morning. Buddy of mine called me with a question from one of the other YouTube videos he's seen. He was asking me, do I need to pile up the dirt on the rows like you would traditionally when you're using a tilling method where the dirt gets like hilled up, as they call it, or piled up? I'm Ashby, and this is Ashby Farms. Located in Burlington, North Carolina. It's now our 5th season. And we are supported by friends, family, and the best community around. So my answer is no. I pretty much am a flat farmer. Yesterday I came out here and I put out 6 cubic yards of compost. It's straight leaf compost. As you can see right now, it's all in the piles from just the wheelbarrow. That's the easiest way to go about it. And so actually I had a fire right back here. So I've got to put down the weed matting here back on these 3 rows today. But in the meanwhile, the big question is, do you need to hill up the dirt around the tomato plants or any plant for that reason? And my answer is no. Traditionally, all that does by piling up the dirt is gives the plant, especially like tomatoes, a little bit better root system. But in all honesty, you don't. I end up just using my bulb auger. I drill out some holes and then plant the plants nice and deep. 8 to 12 inches is what I'm looking for. So stay tuned for another video on that. But coming through here with my rake, and I've got 6 inches between the weed matting here, so I'm just kind of piling it up. Even though it's really raising the dirt up maybe 2 or 3 inches right now, within 2 or 3 weeks, all that's going to compact and it's back to flat earth farming. So the beauty of this place, there's a slight slope going downhill. I would say the bottom of the garden, which is 80 feet away, is approximately 2 vertical feet below this top end of the garden. So naturally all the water runs out here towards the road. It's just enough runoff to where, like during the heavy summer flooding rains that we get, all the water will kind of run down the channels. But just to give you an idea, so right here, this stuff's maybe up about 3 inches, 2 inches right now. There's a lot of organic matter. You've got some clay from where it drilled out. That mixes in with all that black compost. And then of course, so far, that's 2 tomato rows that are planted. All these tomatoes right now are really leggy. They're probably a foot deep in the soil. And when you say leggy tomatoes, that means that they're really long. So some of these are closer to 2 feet long. You just drop them deep. Within a day or so, they'll actually right themselves upright towards the sun. So as of right now, this morning, I tell my kids, do dumb things, win dumb prizes. Well, I've known all year I needed to order more drill batteries, and I forgot to order drill batteries. And then of course it's gonna start raining today around 12 o'clock. So this morning I can plant a row and then go spend an hour charging the batteries, and then plant a row and spend an hour go charging the batteries. My buddy who called me to ask me if he needed to hill up the dirt like this, I told him, no, you don't. And then I was like, hey, do you have a drill? And he's like, yeah, I got 8 batteries. So I'm actually going to head down there once it starts raining. He's going to loan me his drill for tomorrow, which is Sunday, and I'll get the rest of this planted out then. Hopefully with 8 batteries, I can just knock all these holes right out. I've got 15 more rows to plant. So in the meanwhile, while the batteries are charging this morning, I'm just taking my garden rake and making all my rows kind of look like this, just kind of hilling up all the compost. And remember, with no-till farming, underneath all this black weed matting right here, the earthworms are just in there by the millions, and they're not like the big giant night crawlers that you see. A lot of them are like red wigglers, because that's what I put in here to begin with. And red wigglers are real skinny, but they're the quickest composting earthworms that there are. And then every year too, I'll come out here and I'll go buy like 3 pounds of red wigglers from a local guy, and then just kind of give them by the handful through the garden, and it just kind of re-ups that population as well. And what they'll do all my tilling. They'll mix all this compost in. Earthworm castings are like some of the best organic fertilizer that you can have. So I can't tell you that there's one particular thing that I do when it comes to tomatoes. I mean, I keep them on a spray schedule with neem oil and safer soap and baking soda water as an antifungal. I mean, early in the season like this, we're no tilling, we've got earthworms, we're putting down neem oil, apple cider vinegar, azomite goes into each hole before we plant. We're growing nice leggy seedlings so that the tomatoes can be dropped in real deep into a hole. So that way, like midsummer, you know, when the top of maybe the top 2 inches of the soil is really drying out, then I don't have to worry about that because my tomatoes are 8 to 12 inches deep. That's a lot of water down there. When I talk about leggy tomatoes, that's a nice 18 incher there. This is what the greenhouse is kind of looking like right now. These guys down here have got to play catch up just a little bit, but my thoughts are within the week, by the time I've got about 600 right here. By the time I get 600, that's about a little over half the garden. And then in another week, we're supposed to get 80s this week. So all those tomatoes will catch up, be nice and leggy. We'll finish planting out these last couple rows. So. Anyways, that's a quick clip from the farm this morning. I'm Ashby with Ashby Farms. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to show you how I plant tomatoes nice and deep. Thanks again for your support. If you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Y'all have a good day.